Joe Frager here at the 25th annual Israel Day concert at Summer Stage in Central Park with Pete Hegseth, who is really one of the best friends we have at Fox for the state of Israel and, of course, for America. It goes without saying, America, but people don't realize how great this man is on the state of Israel, and he's great. He's been with us twice to Israel and hopefully a third time soon, and I just want to say, usually he does the interviewing of guests on Fox and Friends. Now I'm doing the interviewing of him.
I like
and
this.
You like this.
Well, Joe, it's an honor to be here. It was an honor to be here last year, and the year before it got rained out, so it would have been. But this isn't happening without you, and I know that, and people need to know the dedication that you have to the relationship between America and Israel in educating not just average Americans, but Jews, Christians, everybody about that special relationship and advancing it. And for this year, the 70th anniversary of the founding of the State of Israel, so much has happened this year. You were, the embassy opening was something you could maybe have only dreamed of years ago, and here we have a president who did what he said he would actually do. It's a good day. It's a beautiful day.
So talk more about the move to the embassy. I know you were invited to go. I was invited to go. Thank God. Neither of us could make it for different reasons. Most monumental move that any president could ever do. How do you thank the president for doing such an incredible thing?
Well, I thank the president for having courage. I thank him for doing what he actually said he would do. As you know, and many know, multiple presidents before them, Republican and Democrat, had made the declaration. Congress had declared overwhelmingly that it should move, yet none of them actually made the move. They happily accepted a waiver to not do it because the career types, the bureaucrats, the State Department types, you know that embassy and that consulate in Jerusalem for the American consulate was effectively a pro-Palestinian consulate. There were a lot of reasons why the institutions said don't do it. They predicted Armageddon, they predicted conflict, endless conflict. And he said, I've heard all that, I get all that, but like I said I was going to move it and we're going to move it. And it takes the courage of your convictions and the guts to actually do it. It's easy to say it, it's tough to do it. And he stood up and said, I'm going to. He didn't do it foolishly in any way, not that it would be foolish to begin with. He didn't rush into office on the first day and said, I'm moving it. He deferred once, thought about it, listened to people, and then made the move. And it was time. We had the right people in place with David Friedman and others who were truly committed to the move. And then they said, we're not going to do it in 5 years. We're going to find a way to do it ahead of schedule and under budget. It's just a pretty Trump thing. We're going to open it up and we're going to get after it. And here we are. And there hasn't been the massive upheaval that everyone predicted. And we're simply recognizing the eternal truth, the reality. And if you believe in peace, whatever that may look like, you start by being honest with each other. And the reality is what it is today. I think we can move forward from there. And I don't think we've had since Harry Truman and what he declared, it's not clear we've had a more pro-Israel president in the White House other than Donald Trump.
Right. And we were at that consulate, or annex of the consulate, before it became the embassy.
We almost got ran off the property, Joe.
We almost got ran off the property. Right. We were going to do a little interview over there.
We were going to do an interview. We rode up. We were not invited. We were not expected. We jumped out. Our security, which was inside the vehicle, knew better than to get out with their M4 rifles, which would have been a really bad idea. And we were watched like hawks as we walked around, took a couple of photos, and then they basically pushed us off the property. But we saw it. We were on it before anybody else.
Right. We were there before anybody else. So let's move into the future up ahead. What do you think the president will do with all of our great dreams about annexation of Judea and Samaria, recognizing the annexation of the Golan Heights, because the Golan Heights was annexed along with Jerusalem after the 1967 war. Most people don't know that. Judea and Samaria have not been annexed, but there's a big movement to do that. Now, I know the president might be reticent, but what do you think that we can, what can we do to see those dreams?
I think continue doing what we're doing. Continue educating people. Don't cave in to the falsehoods of the left or the international crowd that says land for peace can work, the two-state solution can work. History has proven that's not going to work. It's not viable to negotiate with people that want to wipe you off the map. Hamas in the Gaza Strip didn't work. Why would we try the same in the so-called West Bank, Judea and Samaria, historical homelands of the Jewish people? Thankfully, in Bibi Netanyahu and Donald Trump, we have friends of those particular views, in my opinion. So you don't rush to something that's not currently tenable, but you don't give in to things that are foolish, and you kind of let the facts on the ground play out. And I think ultimately there's a lot of great groups, many of which you're involved with, that are helping to wake people up to that reality. And I think, if there's one thing I know the Jewish people have been, it is patient. Sometimes too patient, often very patient. I think there's an urgency to the patience today, but also a reality that so many good things have happened. There's more to come, and I don't think we can always predict exactly how or when it'll happen. But look at what's happening. It has happened in Syria, and it's happening in Golan. The simple realities of what the Jewish people should do, the state of Israel should do. So I think a lot of that may be closer than we think, even if the path isn't immediately clear. But we've seen so many of the Jewish people, citizens of Israel, in those so-called settlements, in those communities in Judea and Samaria, who are living peacefully, who are living their lives, who are reestablishing a Jewish homeland. And I think that all really matters. And bringing that perspective to the world is part of the project that you and I are involved in.
So what makes you want to do this, Pete?
What makes you want to do this?
You're a rare individual. I mean, there are friends of Israel, but I really have run into a lot of friends of Israel, but they're not at your level.
Because because I said it. Remember when I said it at this speech? I think the third temple's got to come at some point. But that got you in trouble. It got me in trouble.
Right.
But anyway, let's not go there quite yet.
Listen, we pray for that every day.
Of course.
3 times a day. That we do pray for that. But the reality is, let's deal with Judea and Samaria, and let's deal with the
reality is that if you believe in America first, then you believe in, and I'm going to say this on the stage today, Israel always, and Israel eternally. The bond is unbreakable, needs to be. Western civilization, the connection between our values, the connection between our Judeo-Christian values, and the threats that we face from Islamism and radical Islam that wants to eradicate both of us. It's just an absolute no-brainer. And if you know something to be true, then why would you do a half measure, or why'd you pat somebody in the back and be like, good luck, hope you do okay? It's like, no, guess what? Let's lock shields and do this thing together because we both believe in it. And it may be a more existential threat for Israel because of the enemies that surround her. But if those same enemies could point their missiles at America, they would. And that's what you have to know and understand. And I think that's what connects us so deeply. So it's an absolute honor. And I'm excited to go back with you soon, hopefully very soon.
I hope so. Please, God. Thank you so much. Pete Hegseth, really one of the greatest friends Israel has today in America.
It's my pleasure.
Very important individual at Fox.
This guy makes it all happen.
I thank God that I know the man. We worked together. People want to know how I got to know Pete. We worked together on saving America first, I must tell you. We worked together on saving America to prevent an electromagnetic pulse EMP attack by North Korea, by the way. That was our main concern. Iran is also very concerned about an EMP attack. And that's how we met. So we started with trying to fix that problem, and then we, of course, went into the Middle East. We're going to fix all the problems over there, too, one of these days.
Cool, yeah, eventually. Joe, thank you. It's my pleasure. You got it.
Thank you so much.